I'm here at Cinnamon Lakeside, Colombo, where we are celebrating 20 years of soaring the blue skies. This is, of course, the Air Lanka pilot get-together. And I'm super excited because I will get to have one-on-ones with a lot of incredible individuals who have, in fact, been flying for the longest while. And I'll get to pick their brains about what it's been like working at Air Lanka. And now I have with me one of the seniors of this gathering. This is, of course, Nihal Jayavikrama.
Yes.
Nihal, so tell me a little bit about how long you have been working as a pilot for.
From my flying career started in 1964, and I was in Sri Lankan from the day one as a captain. I worked a year or two before that when with Captain Vikramanayake to set it up also. So I have been there for a fairly long time.
That's a very long time. So tell me, how long of that time did you spend with Air Lanka and how was your experience?
Superb. I enjoyed the flying because I think we were like a family. Of course, we used to fly almost, we had been at home, I think, about 2 or 3 days a month. So rest of the time we were out with all these people living in hotels, playing games. So good experience. Still, when you think back, I really enjoyed my life in Sri Lankan and Air Lanka both together.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. Can you tell me what the best part about being a pilot has been for the last number of decades now?
How can I explain? Superb job. You have to be very attentive, and also you have to take split decisions at times, but it's an enjoyable life because we stay in the hotel. Sometimes we used to stay for about a week. So we had a good time. So I'll never forget that.
Well, that's really great to hear that, you know, the career that you chose and you were involved in for so long is not something you regret.
No, I don't. Because in fact, it's with objections from my parents that I started flying. So I love flying from small days. So I did it. So I have no regrets. And if I can, I'll do it again.
I love that. I love the energy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot.
Now I have with me two individuals who have experienced everything from stormy skies to beautiful sunshines. This is, of course, Captain Robert Spittle, and this is, of course, Captain Navin De Silva. Hi, how are you doing today?
Oh, good. Excited at having been able to get this crowd organized because it's something that we've been trying to do for quite a while. And we were thinking Air Lanka was formed in 1979 and it lasted about 20 years before we changed from Air Lanka to Sri Lankan Airlines. And we thought we should get all our colleagues who worked with us in Air Lanka for a get-together because most of them are retired and we don't get to see much of them. And we thought, why not?
I think that's a fantastic idea. So have you met any of your old friends you haven't seen in a while here?
Yes, certainly. I myself is still flying for Sri Lankan and I started my career as a cadet pilot at Air Lanka, and I see some of my gurus who taught me to be what I am today. So we are very glad and we are very happy to see all of them. Some of them have come from overseas. So to celebrate this 20 years of camaraderie of Air Lanka time. So yes, we are all excited to for this evening. It has just started. So yes, we are looking forward for this.
I have one more question for both of you. Now, flying is something I know little about. What is the best thing about being a pilot?
Looking out of the window. Because one of my teachers said, looking out of the window is getting you nowhere. And see where it's got us.
I guess you showed her. Huh?
And if you ask me, that's the best job in the world. We fly at 35,000 feet. And that's the best place to be. And that's what we are.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much and have a fantastic night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Another pilot, of course, Captain Sam Renova. Hi, Sam.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. It's so nice to see you bubbly and you're always smiling. I was just observing from far away. I feel like you're enjoying the event.
Oh, yes, definitely. I am. Because I'm with my friends, colleagues who I have not seen for yonks. And because I was almost 20 years overseas. So it's nice to see the crowd, especially the guys who trained you, as well as now the guys who I have trained, at least, you know. So yeah, it's been nice, yeah.
So it's like a wonderful mix of things. It is, yeah. So tell me about exactly what we're celebrating here, just in case anyone's wondering.
Yeah, it is basically a get-together of all our colleagues who flew the TriStar, the photograph you had behind us, the aircraft, you know. And it's the Lanka, just Lanka before it became Sri Lankan. So that's what we are basically celebrating. And it was nice of Lalit and Robert, who I must say, who organized it, and to basically meet up with the guys. It's been great, yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. So there's a question I'm asking a lot of the pilots here. Just because I am also a young soul and I'm also trying to explore life. Okay. Is there any advice that you'd like to give out to someone who is thinking of getting onto an airplane and flying?
When you say, is it like to do a flying piloting course or like a passenger?
Not as a passenger.
Okay, right. Who wants to be a pilot? Right. Yeah, definitely. I would always encourage. Yeah. No. Okay, it's basically what he was saying was it's a 3 generation. My father flew for Yasilon, I flew for Lanka and Sri Lankan, and my son is flying for Sri Lanka now. So it's been 3 generations of pilots. But yes, I've been a trainer, so I'll always advise anybody who comes and asks me, well, what's it to fly aircraft? I'll always say it's great, it's a good career, and it's a lot of hard work and dedication, but you can always do it, and you know it's a good job. So I'll always encourage anybody to do it. You know, it's because it's not a suitcase life where you move from country to country, hotel to hotel, but you meet a lot of people, a lot of friends worldwide. And like for me, I flew for Sri Lankan for almost 17 years. And I left Sri Lankan. I've worked for Singapore Airlines for another 13 years. And then I worked for Etihad for another 7 years. Now you know my age. So
I'm not that good at maths, so...
So, yeah.
Thank you so much for reassuring me as well as people who are watching that, you know, being a pilot is in fact a good, smart choice.
Oh yes, definitely. It is a smart choice. Whoever takes it, and I'll always advise anybody who wants to be a pilot, go for it. That's it, you know.
Well, you heard him. If you want to go for it, you should go for it. And now I have with me a flight legend, Hiranjan Bibile, who has been flying for over 40 plus years. So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a few questions for you. First of all, what is the biggest lesson you've learned being a pilot for 40 plus years? There has to be something.
Yeah, mainly be well organized, plan your flight, and never be in a hurry. Planning and then never be in a hurry, because there's nothing in aviation that you do in a hurry, you know. Yeah, and teamwork. Main thing is teamwork, because you got, apart from the pilots, you got air traffic controllers, engineers, the cabin crew at the back of the thing. So we work as a very, very good team. That's the secret of a successful flight.
This is cliche to say, but teamwork makes the dream work.
In anything in life, really, just not aviation only, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so also I want to ask you about any kind of advice you'd like to give someone who has or who is trying to become a pilot, someone who's young, someone who wants to be in the flying scene for a long period of time. Anything that you'd like to share with an audience?
Yes, first you have to have, it's a calling. To be a good surgeon, you have to have a liking for it. You really don't fly for money. Be organized. Obviously, studies are involved, and health. I used to smoke and drink those days. I gave that up long time ago, because we have a very, very stiff medical every 6 months. And you're not going to last if you do all this type of thing. Enjoy life, sure. When you're young, go enjoy yourself, see the world, have fun. And one thing I'm very glad is we have a lot of girls now flying for us. I'm told about 15. I retired about 10 years ago at the age of 65, and I flew with maybe at least half a dozen girls at that time. There are much more now, and hats off to them. Hats off to them. There is nothing to take away from them. And so girls around somewhere, it's a good profession, enjoyable and great fun.
That's fantastic. It's always nice to see an inclusive work environment. Thank you so much for being here, Hiranjan. I hope you have a great night.
Yeah, thank you very much, Susani.
And now I have with me the man who made it all happen. Captain Lalit Gunavardhan. Hi.
Hi. How are you? Well, it's like this. With a couple of colleagues, we thought it's the best time to organize something that originated in 1979 and ended in 99 or 98 or 99. That was Air Lanka. That was a sort of a household name. And even now when we fly over Europe, sometimes they refer to as Air Lanka and give the number, So it was a very famous company. And I thought it's best that we have a get-together so that we can bring in all the guys who are retired and who are just... In fact, I was just retired. So I think it's a success because we got the numbers, right?
Yeah, I can see the numbers and it's looking great. So I've been asking this question from a lot of your colleagues here because I feel like everyone has something great to share about their experience as a pilot. What is yours?
Well, I would say, the happiest moments of my time in my career, everyone has a career and a domestic, was when I used to work, because you are in a place that maybe 0.001% of the population in the world have a chance to work, You're at 38,000 feet or 40,000 feet heading to Europe or something like that. So it was a very, you get used to that experience, but sometimes, latterly there was no people allowed into the cockpit. But before that, people who see the sunrise and sunset say, wow, but it's it was like a day-to-day occurrence to all of us. So those are moments, and the of course there were trying times of bad weather, various things like that. But that's the operational thing. Every pilot is trained to do it. You can't say there's a good pilot and a bad pilot because everyone is trained to do the same thing. So I would say the togetherness of the pilots, because it was a very small community. That was one of the reasons that made me think about having a reunion. So that was the thing I think that made it happen. Let's put it that way.
I'm sure everyone's glad that you did make it happen because it is looking like it's going and everyone's having a great time.
Yeah. Yes. Initially we have about 100 and we are talking of Sri Lanka because there are lots of expatriates who contributed immensely to the growth of the company initially from British Airways and various other companies. We have not counted them in, but we had 109 pilots with us, out of which about 31 are overseas. And then we have operational pilots who are flying now, and you can't expect all to come. So that's how the numbers dropped to 55. But I would say that it's a success. I would say it's a success. We'll see.
I can definitely see that it is a success. Thank you so much for organizing and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for coming here and getting feedback on how the pilots live, because this is how all the guys, when they are out of Colombo, they are they are in bars and various things. Not the case of drinking, but it's a case of just sheer enjoyment of going to Amsterdam or Frankfurt or one of these destinations, which a lot of people don't get the chance to go. So the community sort of grows up. Even a young guy who joins in, he gets molded into that groove, of enjoyment when you're out. So that's it. But thank you anyway very much. Thank you very much for coming over and seeing how the other half or the 0.001% operate in the world, right?
My pleasure. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.